Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So for today's video we're taking a look at that bully Killmonger in Variant Chapter 1, quest number 2, the fight straight after that Korg that some people had been struggling with. So once again it's Buffet and Spite, and so we're going to be taking a look at best ways how to deal with this guy. One of my favorite options has been Captain America Infinity War, just because all of his debuffs actually do extra damage whenever we trigger Buffet, because we are reversing the heal. Also, all the petrified debuffs basically almost kind of nullify all the power gain he could be getting. And lastly, because while Killmonger has armor break debuff on him, majority of his abilities don't work, so it just makes for like a really generic, easy fight kind of. And yeah, that is not a problem at all. Even a 4-star Captain America, probably even a 3-star Captain America can do this fight, just because we are dealing some extra damage whenever we trigger Buffet, because of all our debuffs, and then we're just chipping away at him meanwhile with our heavy attacks and our special 3 attacks. Also, because the armor break is active, he's not doing any reverb damage on us. And yeah, so that's about it. There's nothing too difficult. Really good option about this fight. I must say in this video I'm going to be missing an Omega Red showcase, just because he's kind of stuck in AQ. And yeah, I wanted to show him the first because I have 565 Omega and he absolutely minces this fight as well. But anyways, Captain, absolutely amazing option. In these videos I'm kind of going to be stopping them short, just because I didn't want to redo entire path to record the next champion, so I just kind of force close the game, and that restores Killmonger to 100% health. Anyway, so next option is still even a 4-star Void can handle this guy. The only thing with 4-star Void is the beginning of the fight is kind of tricky, and we do have to hope that we do get lucky with triggering our petrified debuffs. Otherwise the fight is getting a lot harder and longer. But anyways, it's gonna be about the same idea here. We're just gonna let our debuffs pile on him, and meanwhile just use our parry and heavy attack. And eventually, once we have enough debuffs on him, especially petrify ones, we are gonna be reversing his heal, so he's gonna be taking extra damage that way. Meanwhile, all throughout the fight, obviously he's ticking down slowly with Void's debuffs because of Void's own ability. And yeah, and once the petrifies are on, we really do not have to worry about the Spite either. That's going to be kind of preventing him from getting power. This fight is going to take quite a bit longer time, but it's not anywhere near as fast as Cap once is, but it's still perfectly doable. And many of you guys have like higher ranked Voids. I know Void is a really popular champion in the community, and a lot of people have him as rank 4 and rank 5. So I just wanted to pinpoint out that he's definitely still a good option in this variant, even though you can't really use any of your level 1s, level 2s, and light or medium attacks. For fights like that, where you are facing some serious obstacle, it's still worth to kind of cheese it out and wait it out. Void also works in this variant on aggression and regeneration path, and the same idea, that you just basically kind of wait until you get a bunch of debuffs on the opponent, heavy them all the time, and then once they are debuffed enough, just back away, play hide away, and let the aggression regeneration kind of kill the opponents. So Void's definitely a decent good option for this variant still, even though he's not large or extra large champion. But yeah, so here we have like Fearless Void on. We should have been doing a bit better job triggering our Buffet before, but it's alright. Anyways, I cut the fight short because it was like stretching out too long. The next option is Archangel. Obviously, Archangel, again, the first thing you need to be kind of careful about is your beginning of the fight, because he's going to be gaining quite a bit of power, so you need to manage that Spite and make sure he doesn't get level 3. Also, it's worth noting that I do not have an Deep Wounds active on this mastery setup, so it would have been easier how I had Deep Wounds activated, but it's fine, we're still gonna get him down regardless, so Deep Wounds isn't a must. And yeah, basically it's the same strategy as you guys have seen before. We're just parrying and heavying him, and while neurotoxins are on, he can't heal even if we do trigger the Buffet, and Spite doesn't trigger for most part as well. And that's it, there's nothing too difficult. Archangel has an awesome damage output as well, so these fights typically won't take too long. And needless to say, if you have bigger Archangel than a 4-star, the fights can go much quicker. But even 4-star, it isn't taking like too long of a time. And yeah, so that really isn't a problem over here. And we're gonna see that, yeah, we're about to kind of like launch special 3, and that's basically gonna bake him over. And yeah, and next choice might surprise a couple of you guys. I definitely found it interesting and fun to use that champion against Killmonger in here. But anyways, our next champion that we're going to be talking about is Infinity War Ironman. We're using our unduped 6-star just because I didn't have like him as a 5-star, or I didn't have him ranked up as a 4-star champion. So we're using the 6-star for this one, but the same idea kind of applies. The main thing to take away from here is that Ironman has a guaranteed armor break on his heavy attack, and it's quite long. So only thing we have to do is parry and heavy him. And when we do that, we put a good distance in between ourselves and Killmonger, so it means he's going to be shooting the specials quite easily because he loves to throw special 2 from distance. Also, that means since we're going to be having a couple of debuffs on him for most of the fight, combined with the spare mastery, if we do happen to trigger that buffet, he isn't going to be healing for all too much. And lastly, he has great block proficiency, and if we really want to, we can just block everything and without triggering that buffet and dexterity on his special attacks. So it's not too hard to kind of keep away from using dexterity mastery, because for most part, only thing we can be doing here is heavying him down to no health whatsoever. And special 3 obviously as well. Special 3 puts a plasma on him. Sometimes you do manage to keep it for prolonged periods of time. Sometimes it does fall off, but it's not a big deal. It's just some added damage basically. But it's nice to have. The main thing about here is that Infinity War Ironman does not have any generic active buffs. All his armor ups are passive, so we're not going to be triggering buffet while we're randomly hitting him. And the second thing is that his armor break is going to be preventing all reverb damage Killmonger could have been given us. And that's about it. So we messed up there a bit, but it's not a big deal. It took a couple of hits in the face. But yeah, back to our normal strategy, just parry and heavy the guy. Yeah, here we're blocking a special. As you can see, it didn't do too much damage to us, but yeah, that's about it. And I think this video is going to be about over. So for the next champion that I'm going to be using is a champion that I have been speaking a bit more lately, and that's going to be MODOK again with that Mr. Sinister synergy. And again, that Mr. Sinister synergy is going to come quite in handy in this fight as well, because it's just going to give us more opportunities to punish a Killmonger, as well as he's not going to be gaining any power with his ability when we're putting incinerates on him. But the game plan here is quite simple as well. We're just going to be playing parry heavy game, not because we couldn't hit him with our regular attacks, but because our heavy is considered as projectile, not making contact, so we're not taking any reverb damage anyway. So that is the main thing over here. And meanwhile, our incinerates and are putting in some decent damage. He's getting power locked, so we're not having to constantly bait out special attacks, and that makes this fight just a lot more kind of free and easy. I am going to be making a few mistakes in this video, but it's not a big deal. But as we can see here, the main function of this power lock over here is that we can debuff him with our heavy attack, and he isn't going to be gaining the extra power, and he isn't going to be gaining any power for that matter. So that makes this also fairly kind of an easy fight. There's nothing too much to struggle about. And yeah, so we're going to be launching our special 3. That's going to do some decent damage. And yeah, so MODOK once again is a decent option for that Korg, and who knew, for the Killmonger too, with Mr. Sinister synergy provided. And I believe I'm going to be stopping the fight somewhere here soon, or I will try to finish it. I don't remember. I think I'll stop it. But yeah, and the last what I wanted to try out was 4-star Domino to see whether she works. I know that people have been using their rank 5 5-stars, rank 4 5-stars and stuff like that. I just wanted to see if 4-star has high enough damage output, but unfortunately I did not manage to solo him because we were just taking a bit too much block damage, and yeah, we didn't have quite enough damage output. We're still gonna be making a decent dent in him, but it's not gonna be a solo. Anyways, that's gonna be about it from me for this video. I hope this is gonna help you guys to deal with this annoying bully if you still haven't kind of like gotten through him. And yeah, so I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please do feel free to subscribe, like the video, and share it with your alliance, share it with your friends, and hopefully you guys can stick around and see some more interesting content coming. And I see you next time, guys.